Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. So this is my first time actually going live from YouTube. I'm a little bit excited. So if you guys can do me a favor really quick, let's go ahead and copy the link and share it to our Facebook, email it out, post it wherever it is you feel the need to post it. I'm going to be doing some free readings. I'm also going to be doing free energetic work. There's no line. It's just like how I do it on Facebook. Basically, I'm going to be looking at the comments, and whoever it is that soul guides me to is who I'm going to be doing the reading for, okay? So if this is your first time ever seeing me, you don't know what my work is. My name is Emmy. I do some spiritual badassery. I primarily go live from Facebook. You can see me on there. Same name as my channel here. My page on Facebook is Emmy Evolving. Also, I have a website, emmyevolving.com. I have my own energetic system that I created based off of downloads from soul, meaning no one taught me this. I just know how to do this for some reason. So I created my own system. It's called Kokoro 33. And this weekend, I will be teaching a live clinical where we will cover the foundational principles of Kokoro 33, as well as allowing the participants to practice these exercises on me live. So I believe I only have one seat left for this clinical. If it's something that interests you, definitely check out my website, emmyevolving.com. So you guys, let's get started. If you would like a reading or anything like that, definitely start commenting. Be very specific what you want. Don't just say, can you tell me something? Because if I see your comment and you know, be specific. I do biospiritual scans. That can be an energetic level, chakras, physiological scans. I can go down to the subatomic level. I also do clairvoyant readings. I do DNA activations, galactivations, parasitic extractions, subatomic attunements, all kind of cool stuff. So let's start commenting. Let's see. Norma Abrego says, can I have a career reading, please? Sure. Let's go ahead and see. Norma Abrego. I'm getting that right now for your career. You have quite a few things that is going on. It's kind of blocking you. You are very much distracted with all these things that they're like concerns. Some of them are not bad things. I think some of the distraction also comes from a new person that's entered your life. But I do see that despite these distractions, your work is going to be taken to a new level very soon. That might be due to a change in company or full-on career. It seems like you've been toying with the idea of leaving behind this company or this job that you've been with. And I would explore that. I would definitely explore that. There's a lot of new things, new energies coming into your field. And this is the year. This is the year of manifestation. This is an 11 year. So it's a year of manifestation. There's no reason you should diminish yourself or doubt your ability to manifest the life that you want and deserve. Okay? So, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my page. I'll be going live from here quite often at this point. If you subscribe, that gets you all the notifications for when I'm live. I don't really follow a schedule. Sorry, guys. I'm just too much of a free soul. I'm a free spirit. I don't do schedules. So I'll be live pretty often, okay? Yay! Mary Spaziani subscribed. Let's see. Deborah Lashbrook says, can I get a shield check? Of course. Let me go ahead check this out. So Deb, it looks like you've added some extra protective layers on your shield. That's definitely a good thing. With that Lionsgate code activation that happened during the Lionsgate portal, excuse me, you've taken in a bunch of very high frequency, and that's afforded you the ability to make more adjustments to your shield. I highly doubt there will be successful attempts to breach your space at this point. So definitely, good job. All right. Thank you for subscribing, Joshua. Let's see. Yes, good point. Amber says, I subscribed, and don't forget to click the bell for notifications. That's very important that you click the bell so that way you know when my spastastic self comes live. I'm telling you guys, I don't do schedules. Let's see. So Kira Hardy says, can I have a reading on what career area is next for me? When will my finances improve? All right, this is for Kira Hardy. I see you in a car, and it looks almost like, I want to say like an airport. It feels as though either you're going to take on a second job, or you're going to go ahead and leave where you're at and do a different job for several months, no more than a year. And then you finally get the inspiration and the courage to really dive into that career that is in alignment with your higher self and your soul purpose. It's very common for us to be afraid to trust in our higher self's ability to provide for our needs. And, you know, there's very real fears attached to that leap of faith, because let's face it, guys, we need that dinero to exist on this plane. So it's not about like a needless or senseless fear. It's a very real, valid concern. You have to provide for yourself, for your family. But I do see within the year, within a year's time, you will, and your higher self says, fall into that career that will really help you to blossom, really give you that self-confidence back, reclaim all of your personal power, and just, you're going to be very happy. I see you being very happy. But there is that step before you get to that place. So there will be some struggle. I see in the next few months, it will be a bit of a struggle. Flow with it. Definitely flow with it, because it's these next few months that are going to grow you and really fortify you and help you to remember exactly how much it is you can survive and thrive through. So it's going to be an exciting time for you. As long as you keep your perception focused on the fact that these events are going to grow you, I don't see you struggling too bad. Okay, but it will be a bit of a challenge financially. So let's see. Joshua Braswell says, am I unlocking my true spiritual potential? Emmy, my guides like you. I like them too. I like them a lot. So Joshua, you are at the cusp of something ridiculously profound. First of all, I want to confirm you are in a divine twin flame union with Miss Adriana. It's very beautiful to see the dynamic between the two of you. It's not necessarily just the relationship, but the energy, the way your energies support and very much complement each other. It's very beautiful to witness. So with that, you are positioned to take the spiritual industry by storm. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. Josh, you have to push. There is no more second guessing yourself. You are hungry, and it's time to feed that soul. Not just monetarily, but abundance on all levels in all its forms. There are a lot of people that are going to be coming very soon. Your energy has just boomed and sent a wave, sending ripples into everyone's fields, and they've become aware of your energy. They're going to begin seeking you out. That's a place of power, not in that you're better than everyone and this and that. No, that's a place of power because now your soul purpose is activated. You are now being positioned to be of service to humanity and everyone who comes to you. I do feel as though both you and your twin flame will be experiencing some really profound activations very, very soon. It can get a bit dicey when two are experiencing that upgrade, you know, the emotional rawness of that. You guys have to keep that in mind, okay? There will be, from what I'm detecting, not only did you catch the attention of people who will be in need, those who are here in service to the light, you've also caught the attention of those who are assisting the light in dark ways. I don't believe in the concept of good and evil. I do believe in the very real fact of service can either be done in the light or performed in darkness. And you have gotten the attention of some who prefer dark methods. The only thing with that, make sure that you don't allow entry. And that entry can be, sometimes the method of entry can be through conflict between you and your twin flame. It's not something that you can't overcome. You guys have a very solid foundation, very bonded, very solid foundation, but it will cause friction. If you keep that in mind, you knowing this in advance will give you that extra oomph to be like, no, we're not fighting about this. We will talk about it. We're not going to fight about this. This is not a problem. This is something that's going to help grow us and bond us even closer. So I see a lot of good things for both of you. Just in the next 3 months, it's really, you're going to recognize I'm following my soul calling. You're going to have that conversation with yourself where it's like, abundance is coming in because I'm finally in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing. That's very, very beautiful. So let's see. Oh, Josh says, we'll take that into account. We have had random senses of chaos that we've had to beat. Yeah, it'll just be random. Like, why are we disagreeing? Why are we arguing? It's very, very random. And that's the key to recognizing when it's a parasitic circumstance, an attempt to breach your shield. When it's just absolutely random, makes no sense, came out of nowhere, that's a parasitic attempt, okay? Let's see. So guys, the questions go a little bit fast. I don't see everyone's questions. So just keep asking your questions. I see someone stated that they wrote their question 3 times. I didn't see any of it. All I saw was that you said you wrote it 3 times. Let's see. So Lornie Lee is asking for a scan. She thinks she may have an attachment. All right, Lornie Lee, I'm going to be scanning you for a parasitic attachment. Lornie, you do have an attachment? You might feel some pulsing, tingling, and pressure as I do deeper core scanning. Okay. I'm asking your higher self for permission to access and do extractions, parasitic extractions. So for those of you that are new to the work that I do, parasitic extractions are when I go ahead and remove any type of latching of beings or energy that is not in alignment with your higher self. Religion calls them demons. I don't like that term because it gives this sense of we're helpless, there's nothing we can do, we're being victimized. When we call them parasites, it's just very matter of fact. They're parasitic because they feed off of our energy. And when you think of parasite, you think of, okay, how am I going to resolve this? So that's what a parasite is. Lorne, your higher self has given permission for me to access your field, so I will be doing extractions, okay? Breathe very deep and very slow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you where I'm extracting from. These locations that I state, you may feel some cramping, heat, sense of ice fire, tingling, possibly some mild discomfort, okay? Base of skull just left of spine. Top of neck, left of spine. Bottom of neck, right of spine. Top inner corner of left shoulder blade. That one was slightly larger, okay? Inner corner of lower left shoulder blade. Center of right shoulder blade. Middle of your back on your spine. Lower left kidney. Left of spine, just above your sacrum. Upper right portion of sacrum. Lorne, please focus on your breathing. Breathe very deep, very slow. Your larger latching has presented itself. Okay. That's extracted. Middle left of sacrum. Left iliac crest. Left sciatic nerve. Top right of tailbone. Bottom left of tailbone. Focus on your breathing, Lorne. Perfectly okay. Right hip. Left shoulder joint. Right armpit. Just below right ear on the top of your neck. Right inner ear. Deep breath. You might get a little bit dizzy from that inner ear pressure change. Pressure stabilized. You might feel me turn you around. High on your right temple. Below the inner corner of your right eye. Hollow of left cheek. Left ear tragus. Beneath the apple of your right cheek. Tonsils. Thyroid. Just below the inner corner of your right clavicle. You have multiple harpoons and spears around your chest area, your heart area. I'm going to be extracting all of those simultaneously, okay? Very deep breath in. If you're attempting to assist, someone in the audience is attempting to assist me as I do this work, please do not send energy without being asked. I do have a defense system. Once it detects energy being sent to me without my permission, it does activate. So please don't send energy without being asked. Liver, gallbladder, 2 inches above left ovary, right of belly button, parasitic pouch, 2 inches below belly button. You're still well within the realm of average number of latchings, Lorne. No fear. We're removing all of them, okay? You might begin to feel squirming, cramping, movement within your lower belly. You might also feel ice fire, tingling, pressure, the sensation of scooping and emptying out, okay? I'm going to go ahead and enter the space. You might feel hot flashes as I send God fire through the void. Scanning you. Clear. Performing deep core scan. You might feel pulsing. Core is clear. Final scan. Clear. Wrapping you in hydroplasmic frequency. All right. So, Lorne, that was pretty intense. Your major latching was a very intense latching. Everything's been removed. You may feel a lot lighter, tingly, more relaxed for the rest of the evening. Tomorrow, however, as my energy begins to wear off of your field, because I do send sedation so that the people I work on don't have that unnecessary anxiety or fear. Once my sedation energy begins to wear off your field, you will be feeling the work that I've done tonight. With that said, it can present as an energetic detox. And those symptoms usually tend to be like the flu with no fever. You can have a lot of body aches, moodiness, emotional rawness, things like that. You might feel as though I beat you. I'm sorry. It's just part of the work that I do. But definitely take it easy, okay? Over the next 7 to 10 days is usually how long that energetic detox lasts. Try your best to take it easy, okay? Let's see. Norma Abrego, some people's hands do get hot when Godfire is activated. Some people feel ice. Some people just get tingling. It really depends on the individual and their perception. So let's see. So Melody Gidley says, can I have a scan, please? Of course. You're welcome, Lorne. So Melody Gidley. And if you guys are just tuning in, please don't forget to subscribe to my page and turn on the notifications so you know whenever I go live and do the free readings, okay? Melody Gidley, it seems as though you have a circumstance with the rear right of your crown space. There was a fracture in the crown chakra as well as in your auric shield, and that's allowed for the crown energy, a purple energy, to begin pooling in the back side towards the right of your head. It's been pooling for quite some time because it's not like a vibrant purple. It's become a very dark, deep purple. So it's been stagnant for quite some time. It seems as though your third eye has gone, instead of an indigo frequency, it's gone very light. So much of your third eye energy has been pooling with the crown energy as well. And throat chakra. You also seem to have a blockage in the high heart, below the throat, right in this space right here. It's caused the top portion of your heart chakra to begin to atrophy. The lower portion still looks okay, but the top has begun to atrophy. Solar plexus appears to have a circumstance as well. You still have the shielding plate in front of the solar plexus. That shielding plate is usually placed there before birth to restrict the amount of energetic influx. It tends to be sort of like a way for your higher self to make sure you don't get too overwhelmed. You are a very sensitive empath, and typically to make sure that you progress in life with as little struggle as possible. It doesn't make for a perfect life, but it does reduce the unnecessary struggle. The shielding plate is placed in front of the solar plexus. It is still there. Sacral chakra looks very well lit, but there is a fracture at the bottom of it. That seems tied to blockages within the root, as well as atrophy in the root chakra. You are naturally a very high frequency individual. And with that being said, those with high frequency have a tendency to have smaller root chakras. We have a harder time grounding. So you operate at a very high frequency, have a difficult time grounding. That energy just keeps pounding on your root chakra, and that causes a lot of fracturing and shattering. It looks like the back left of the root chakra has in fact been shattered. I would not be surprised if you've begun to develop symptoms of fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia, from my experience with my field work, it is very much an energetic causation. Typically when chakras get severely damaged with shattering, things like that, the energetic imbalance, it creates conditions that involve the nerves, chronic fatigue, pain, things like that. So I would not be surprised if you're already experiencing that. If not, you can definitely avoid it. I would definitely recommend you book a private session through my website, meevolving.com. It's just like the channel name, and you just put .com at the end. Okay? So Melody, I hope I was able to answer your question. Let's see. Mary, I'm not doing auric paintings tonight. So you have a circumstance in progress, and you'd like me to do a reading for that. All right. This is for Mary Spaziani. Your higher self and Michael together, the both of them are like, no, no, no readings. I think right now what you're experiencing is confusion and self-doubt. And those two things are the very things that will be helping you to reclaim much of your confidence. So in order for me to to, if I were to do the reading, I would be interfering with the process of you reclaiming your personal power. And so your higher self and Michael, if you guys are new to me, I do communicate with Archangel Michael quite a bit. Quite a bit. We homies. But yeah, they're both saying that I'm not allowed to interfere. So you're in a very intense portion of the lesson. It will pass, okay? Be gentle with yourself and give yourself enough space to kind of wiggle around and figure out how you're going to maneuver through this portion of your journey. But you definitely have what it takes to get through this, okay? Let's see. Starry Ari 333 says, when I have kids with my fiance, they will be half taco and half Wisconsin cheese curd. Love it. Okay, let's see. So Adriana C says, can you scan me, Emmy? I've been feeling attempted attacks. Of course, definitely. This is for Adriana C. There have been multiple brute force attempts to breach her shield. Lower left ovary, that portion of your field, attempts there. Sacral, heart space, high heart, throat, right temple, ninth chakra. That is your, you could call it your Christ gate. Let me just check what's going on with this. I do not like this. Very high level, it seems. There were attempts. Zeta reticuli, the not so nice kind, in conjunction with draconian. Michael says I'm to do some work on your ninth chakra. Do I have your permission to do that? Yeah, you did know. You're very sensitive. You did know it was happening. You just needed confirmation, and this is your confirmation. Okay, she said yes. Adriana, you may begin to feel several beings come forward. They are, in fact, Andaran dragons, the good kind. I've gone ahead and amplified their coding. They're here in your defense. I've requested that they go track down the very specific beings who are responsible for this attempt and deal with it for you. Okay. Activating your Kundalini. You might begin to feel ice fire wrapping around each vertebrae as it climbs up your back to your pineal. Your higher self has requested that I call down God's seed energy And I will definitely be doing that right now. You might begin to feel tingling and ice fire all over. Adriana, I'm not sure if you're aware that you do have angelic wings. I'm going to need you to visualize these wings. Take the very tips of your wings and point them straight up, okay? Straight all the way up. So, Adriana, if you're not already aware, angelic wings have multiple purposes. They're not just for flying. You can actually wrap them around yourself or an individual. They have the ability to accelerate the healing process, energetic as well as physiological. They also have the ability to act as shields, impenetrable shields. You're going to need to begin getting comfortable with using your wings as weaponry and shields, as armor. So when I say weaponry, the feathers, energetic feathers, they have the coating that can slice through any other density at some of the highest frequency that you can harness on this plane. And so you can either use your wings as cutting instruments, or you can take a feather and throw it like a shuriken, like a ninja star. You just pluck one off and toss it. So definitely do that. If you feel any type of attempt, you're not imagining it. Defend yourself. It's very, very important that not just you, but everyone who watches understands we are responsible for our safety. We are responsible for our well-being, our happiness, all of that. We have to once again reclaim that obligation to take care of ourselves. That is part of sovereignty, okay? It's okay to ask for assistance when you need it, but for the most part, we should be taking care of these things ourselves. And of course, it's not something you could just do right now. It's something you're going to have to go through a process of remembering how you're able to do these things. And, it's very normal to doubt yourself, but you have extreme ability, okay? Let's see. Jester says, why do I feel blockages to get back with my soulmate? Okay, Jester, it seems as though the separation between you and your soulmate was actually a parasitic circumstance. One of you, it was you. You have a latching. Upper right shoulder, just below the neck. Excuse me, upper right shoulder. For parasites, they're very well adapted to surviving in a parasitic manner. One of the most important and highly developed abilities of parasites are mimicry. They're able to mimic your voice so perfectly that if they're anchored near the top of your back, what they tend to do is mimicking your voice, saying these things that just are kind of off the wall. And because you're not aware of what a parasite is and that it has this ability, since it sounds like you just assume it's your own thoughts, but it's actually not. It's not an organic thought. It's actually an inception of these thoughts, okay? So that's what happened. A lot of circumstance was created by doing this to you, manipulating you in this way. So we just have to take responsibility, take ownership of what we did, because parasites, they are not able to create any type of character trait that is not organic to you. So if you were harsh to your soulmate and that's what drove them away, it's because you do have the potentiality of being harsh. So parasites will only amplify what's already there. Okay? So it amplified what was already there. And you have to see this as a circumstance that's helping to bring to the forefront of your awareness fractals of yourself that need observation and possibly modification. But once that parasitic circumstance is resolved, and you can book a parasitic extraction with me through my website, meevolving.com. Once it's resolved, then the blockages will dissolve along with it. And you and your soulmate, let me just double check. You guys will have a reconciliation, but the likelihood of that being or continuing to be a romantic type thing, it's very low, okay? And that is because the path that you're on right now, it doesn't allow for the romance to rekindle. It doesn't mean that it never will. It just means that as of right now, this moment, the way you see things, it doesn't allow for that. So if you shift the way you perceive life, the way you've co-created your reality, then the trajectory of your path, it changes as well. And if you shift it just enough, it can absolutely realign the two of you and you guys can rekindle that romance. So definitely do what you need to do to work on self. And if you do enough healing, self-healing, then that can rehappen for you, that you guys can get back together. Queen of Water says, hi, Emmy. I let a big attachment from a past life go. Did I do the right thing? Let's see. This is for Queen of Water. Did you do the right thing? Your higher self is saying that, yes, you did the right thing. I'm in agreement with that. I think you did the right thing, but there is still a cord attached. It is right above the sacral chakra and below the solar plexus. So it's drawing from both those chakras, which that's a lot of energy to be pulling. I don't know if you attempted it yourself or if someone assisted you with a cord cutting. It's important that we begin correcting this misconception that if you have a cord attached, you cut it. You cut the cord. That's not effective. If we are scaled down versions of creation, then let's look at what other types of cords there are in creation. The umbilical cord, that's between a mother and a child. That cord is a two-way street. Do we just cut the cord, or do we have to go ahead and birth the placenta that cord is using to attach to the mother? So you can see yourself as the mother, the host of this cord, and you have that placenta, that root ball the cord is attached to, and that's what's being used to pull that energy from you. If you just cut the cord, you will continue to bleed energy out. And then just like with a tree, if you cut it at the trunk, it'll continue to grow. And at some point you'll have another tree or a bush, whatever it is. So you would need to excise that root ball completely and then clean the area. Make sure you sterilize the entire area. You can definitely, your higher self is saying that not only is there a need to cleanse the area and remove the root ball, you seem to be at like a plateau for your activation sequence. You did have a DNA activation sequence begin, but because so much of the energy was diverted, instead of going up to the crown and, doing all that good stuff, it was diverted. And so you kind of just leveled out and were stuck for that activation. So your higher self is encouraging me to encourage you to go ahead and book a private DNA activation with me. You can do that through my website, meevolving.com. Your higher self is still communicating. You're always in a rush. Higher self is like, smell the flowers, smell the flowers. You have to slow it down, because rushing, that's how you end up exposing yourself to situations and individuals that you should not be exposing yourself to. Your shield is also very thinned out. You're a highly sensitive empath, and you have been pulling in other people's experiences and energies, and it's caused your shield to become very porous, very thin, very fragile. It's important you begin reclaiming some of that energy that you give out so generously. Martyring yourself, it's not love. Okay. And I hope this doesn't come off as me lecturing you or judging you, but there is another common misconception that if we give enough, then we're being loving. Love is actually a circuit. You have to give as much as you allow yourself to receive. So with that being said, you've given far too much and haven't allowed yourself to receive much of anything. It's time you shift it, so that way the giving is equal to the receiving, and that will help to heal your shield. If you need assistance with that, that can also be done during a DNA activation session with me. So definitely consider having that session. You can do that through my website. Oh, hold on. Mobile MBZ specialist says sovereignty is such a great realization, creates independence, confidence, and self-respect. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sovereignty is a very powerful and beautiful thing that helps to co-create such a compassionate environment around you. It's very, very beautiful. Cheryl Bowman says, I'm curious if I have a parasite. Something feels so off. Please, can you scan me to see? Of course. This is for Cheryl Bowman. You do have a very significant parasitic circumstance. There is a major cording just below the solar plexus, but the placenta does the root ball. It actually penetrates the base of the solar plexus, as well as the kundalini. You have another latching in the back. You have multiple harpoons in the chest. Now, if you're not familiar with my work, a harpoon is when there is a brute force attempt to enter your field, to breach your shield and enter your field. Harpoons in the chest. And it looks almost as though your neck has been shackled. So that's usually indicative of someone or something. Typically a Trojan is used, meaning a parasite uses someone in your life to go ahead and access you because they have a difficult time getting through your field and manipulating you. They'll use someone else. So that's what a Trojan is. It feels as though a Trojan was used to shackle your neck so that you can't speak your truth. I keep getting that you're Melchizedek. You are part of the Melchizedek lineage. And typically that lineage, it's housed in the throat. It's the blue energy, the blue ray, the first ray of emanation. And that's why it's shackled around the neck. All right. Cheryl, do I have your permission to, yeah, your aura is blue because you're Melchizedek. Do I have your permission to remove that shackle? That just really irks me because I don't like it. I don't like shackles. You might feel like a large presence around you right now. The large presence is actually Archangel Michael. He's entered your field. So if you're not familiar, Archangel Michael is like the head of that ray, the blue ray. He's removing it for you right now. Michael's doing it himself. Cheryl, it would also be good if you go ahead and have a DNA activation with me. I'm also from the Blu-ray, specifically the cloister. It's a very specific cloister, a subgrouping within the Blu-ray. And I'm able to reach frequencies that are very, I guess, therapeutic for those who share that lineage with me. I definitely would suggest a DNA activation and parasitic extraction. Okay, you can have parasitic extraction plus DNA activation added on. We do both things in one session, and it's much more cost effective that way. So Cheryl Bowman, I definitely suggest you check out my website, meevolving.com, and check that out, okay? Let's see. Let's see. Pauline Frew says, I've been in hermit mode for quite some time now, but I'm coming out of it slowly. Is there anything my higher self needs to tell me to help my evolving, and can I have a scan? Okay, let's see. Pauline Frew, you absolutely have it spot on. When we are looking at the way we grow on a soul level, an energetic level, you have to look at it like birth. The contraction doesn't just stay contracted in order to birth a child. There are ebbs and flows. You have contraction, you have expansion, contraction, expansion. And right now you have been in a contraction phase for an extended period. Not too long, but it has been a little bit longer than average. And you are now preparing to begin an expansion phase. With that being said, you definitely, you're at the cusp of it. Okay, just be patient. Allow yourself the time and the space to experience each moment as it is. You have the type of mind that's go, 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 and your thoughts are constantly running. That's okay. Allow your thoughts to run. It's important that you don't create blockages and try and divert the thoughts to where you think they should go. Those thoughts are leading you somewhere. So allow yourself to think whatever it is you're thinking and just observe. Okay, right now, the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is to just observe where your thoughts are leading you to, because there's something your higher self wants you to become aware of about who you are and what you are. Okay, so just let your thoughts flow. Let's see. Oh, poor Cheryl. Cheryl Bowman says, it's still buffering. I'm not sure what's happening. I lost you when Michael showed up. When Michael and I do energetic work together, there's a high likelihood of electronic interference because we reach frequencies that are so high. I have a tendency to distort the feed when my energy mingles with Michael's. So you might have to just watch the rerun or maybe exit the live and come back. That might be something you can do, okay? Oh, Amber Kirkness says, any messages for me? I've recently been told I have a pink aura. What does that mean? So with a pink, each dimension exists within a band of color, because the frequency within a dimension, it has an audible tonation for most of them, and, well, not most of them, for most of the ones in this time-space matrix. There's an audible tonation as well as a visual expression of that frequency, which is color. So depending on the frequency band, meaning dimensional level, that will determine what the color is. Pink, I believe that is 14th dimension. So this is a time-space matrix of 15 dimensions. That's very high frequency. That's what that means, Amber. You're very high frequency. So when I say high frequency, I don't mean superior. I'm also very high frequency. It doesn't make us superior. It just makes our needs different than someone with low frequency. So when we're here on this plane, we're trying to create equilibrium, Meaning if you're high frequency, you want to be able to ground more so that way you can function without being so spacey, astral feeling and not fully present in the moment. If you're low frequency, you want to raise that so that way you can reach higher levels of dimensional consciousness. And the higher level of dimensional consciousness will help you to understand things in a more elevated way, meaning you become more spiritually aware of the circumstance you're in, and that feeling of being victimized tends to just dissolve, and you recognize this event is growing me in some way. Let me figure out how that is. So that's why we want to do this. And for you, Amber, I think you're very, very high frequency. And I would not be surprised if you have a really hard time grounding. You have to really focus on the root, okay? Less focus on the upper chakras because that's already active. More focus on the lower. So let's see. Hi, Danaman. Indigo Ray says, what dimension is a blue aura? Oh my gosh, my memory is so horrible. It's so horrible. There's several layers of blue. There are different shades of blue. So the throat, as well as the third eye. And if you guys aren't aware, chakras, the color of the chakra is very much tied to the dimensional frequency. So red root chakra, it's the first dimension. First dimension is red. So it would be the fifth dimension, blue, I think. I can't remember, guys. My memory is so horrible. Let's see. Oh, what's Ari? Oh, I'm so sorry, Ari. She's been asking for a reading. Okay, so Ari. Oh, Ari. What I'm getting is something amazing. I see nephew. Nephew's ready. Prepare the oven. Nephew is coming. On top of that, Ari, all seriousness, I do feel like nephew is coming. There's a download. 1 second. Ari, are you open to me giving you an upgrade? I'm not able to fully explain what the upgrade is. She says it's the end of the world, y'all. All right, so she's open to getting an upgrade. 1 second. Let me just do this. I have to have music when I do this type of energetic work because my mind just keeps going and going and going. And I found that if I listen to music that I like, I can preoccupy the monkey mind, meaning suspend its resistance. So let me just put some musica on. Oh, I dropped it. Start breathing very deep and slow, Ari. Very deep and very slow. All right. You might start getting dizzy, okay? All right, Ari, how do you feel? Oh my gosh. It is amazing. You got some serious upgrades. All systems. Full system upgrade. I'm so glad you were able to join and we were able to do that upgrade for you. Ooh. Joshua Braswell has a twerking video. I'm gonna have you're gonna have to tag me in that twerking video, and I would like to be impressed. So let's see. Let's see. You guys are too funny. Hi, TM Preds. You guys are too funny. Let's see. Let's look for more. Bonnie Nicosia. I love your last name, by the way. Nicosia, Nicolina. I love the way those sound. So Bonnie says, hi, Emmy. Can you tell me what's in store for me in my upcoming future? She's also asking, are you able to help with fibro? Yes, I have had quite a bit of long-term success. Of course, it's dependent on the individual, and I cannot guarantee anything. But if the individual is in alignment with the work and do the work, I have had many clients have their fibromyalgia fully resolved. 0 symptoms, no return of it. But it involves helping you to shift your perception as well. We go ahead and clear out all of that energetic circumstance, the imbalances. Sometimes it requires reconstructing the chakras, and I've had quite a bit of tremendous positive result. And when I say positive result, I mean fully resolving it, curing the fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia exists due to very significant energetic imbalance. Definitely consider having a private session with me. Let me just make sure. Bonnie, I believe that a simple DNA activation would be enough of a session. It doesn't seem like you have a need for parasitic extraction. There are a few latchings, they're minor latchings, and they can be resolved during the DNA activation. But definitely look into that, okay? Let's see. Let's just... Hi, Aaliyah Corazon. Rebecca Johnson says, can I get any message from higher self or a scan? Thank you. Been very irritated the last few days. So, Rebecca, Becky, what I'm getting is that you have taken in quite a bit of that Lionsgate portal activation codes. It has a very agitating effect. And what that does, it causes traumas and emotions that we thought we've dealt with. I've explained this before. We think we've dealt with certain circumstances within our life, within our journey, and in reality, we haven't. We've just kind of stuffed them down because, you know, it's painful. So we don't really want to deal with that. But we've stuffed it down, and the Lionsgate energy was so high frequency and potent that it agitated the really settled emotions and traumas. And just like with a washing machine, how the machine will agitate the clothing to loosen it, and the debris, the dirt, whatever you want to call it, is loosened from the clothing, and we're able to get rid of that. And that's what the Lionsgate did for you. It loosened quite a bit, and so you've been very agitated. Let me just finish scanning. It's also causing, it's almost like a rehashing of certain relationship cycles. I believe one of them is with your daughter, the energetic portion. I don't know if there's like arguing going on between the two of you, but the energetic portion, it's looped around again. So there might be a rehashing of the things you guys have struggled through in the past. But, you know, you'll definitely still resolve them, but you'll experience more irritation and agitation, okay? Let's see. You're welcome, Stariari. Let's see. Yeah, so Rebecca says, yes, I've been told to, I have to get back to balance. Something from my past still giving me issues. It's a tie between you and your daughter. Let's see. Tracy Christie is asking, will my hubby and me be moving closer to our grandson and family this year or next? So immediately when I read your question, Tracy, this is for Tracy Christie. What I immediately got was that there is a Christmas party. I don't think it's Thanksgiving. I think it's Christmas. And you have some good news to tell everyone, that you're moving closer. So it's right at the cusp of next year. But you let everyone know then of this year. Okay? Let's see. So Teresa Floramel says, I've been feeling so flat. Teresa also says, I'm at my lowest and feel like I'll never meet anyone. So you're welcome, Rebecca. Teresa Florimel. What I'm getting is that you're purposely being kind of like a self-imposed isolation. You're not doing this consciously. What's going on is your higher self is the one that's doing this. I'm being told to be very honest, very blunt, and I hope this doesn't hurt your feelings, but your higher self asks me to quote it. So you've been distracting yourself for far too long trying to fix the wounds of others, that your own wounds have festered. And so now we must remain in isolation until we heal ourselves. So your higher self wants you to focus on you. What's going on is that as an empath, we have a tendency to attempt to heal other people. And it seems like it's a very selfless, loving act. But in reality, what ends up happening for most empaths, myself included, we tend to try and heal other people. So that way we're too busy to look at what's going on within us. And as I said, I'm guilty of this. So this is the year where we are totally making it a point to make ourselves and our journey a priority as well. Because we have a tendency as empaths to kind of just put our needs and our journey on the back burner as we focus on everyone else. And now higher selves are like, nope, we're not doing that anymore. You're not the only one experiencing this. So many of us experience this. This is a collective lesson, a lesson for the collective. Yes, Teresa, your fibromyalgia is worse because instead of focusing your energy on resolving your health conditions and rebalancing your energies, you've been focusing so much on other people. And so not only is it depleting you, it's also exaggerating that the chakra damage that presents as fibromyalgia symptoms. So what I've seen with you, you have a tendency to give so much, and it creates this perceived deficit, energetic deficit. And so when that happens, naturally, because creation always seeks equilibrium, when there's a deficit, immediately the higher self will open the gates and allow energies in. And that's what I call frequency accretion. So every time you deplete your energy, frequency is accreted at a very high rate. And if there's blockages, especially in the root, that energy, it's meant to travel from the crown through your central chakra line and out through the root back into the earth. You're supposed to just be a channel all the way through. And because there's a blockage in the root, it's energy's pounding the root nonstop, pounding, pounding, pounding. And then what ends up happening is shattering of the root chakra. And then you present with symptoms like fibromyalgia and things like that. And that's what's happened. We definitely should work together to help get that resolved. And then you can continue that work on your own. You can maintain it and continue with your spiritual journey. But right now, it does seem like you do need assistance. You're very overwhelmed and very exhausted. So in a situation like that, I do think you need assistance. It's okay if we need assistance. You know, it's okay. That's what we're here together for, to help each other, to encourage, to support. And that's definitely one of my functions in this life, is to help encourage and support those who need it. And I think right now you do. Oh, she says, I'm so lost. Go to my website, emmyevolving.com, and look at my services. I definitely think you could benefit from DNA activation. Okay, that would resolve the energetic circumstance. And then hopefully as we do that work together, it will shift some of your perception enough that you can maintain and continue progressing on your own. Okay, Teresa, you're not a weakling. Definitely not. You're just tired. You're very, very exhausted. And she says, I'm so lost. The beautiful thing about being lost, it's a place of power, because it's only when you lose something do you decide to find it. So if you're lost, you're now in a position where you can actively choose to once again find yourself, your true self. Not the self that society, friends, our loved ones tell us we should be, but your true self, okay? So let's see. You're welcome, Tracy. KK says, Emmy, please, may I have a scan? My stomach hurts on the left. I get sharp pains through my body. My memory is going. I forget where I am. KK, how long have you been having those symptoms? So let me see. So let's see if KK answered. You've been having it for a long time. Oh, on the left. KK, what I'm getting is the spleen seems to have a circumstance. It seems slightly enlarged. Let me just check on something. Okay. So if you're not aware, each of our organs are tied to a very specific emotion. The spleen is tied to pensiveness. You worry quite a bit. KK, what I'm getting is this. You worry a lot, and what ends up happening, because it's been such a long time, the energetic causation has now permeated through into the physical organ, because we do have an etheric counterpart for every physical organ. So it was an issue of this etheric spleen, and now it's become the physiological spleen. You have to begin releasing that pensiveness. I also get that you attack yourself quite a bit. I do see some sort of causation within the bones, the marrow, which would tie in with the spleen, because blood cell production. KK, do you get bruising very easily? So I'm just waiting for KK to answer if she gets bruising easily. If you're extremely tired and you get bruising easily, I would definitely talk to a doctor. Yes, okay. I would definitely talk to a doctor. I want you to get diagnostic testing done. They need to check your bone marrow. I also have you there's no sickle cell, right? Because it almost seems like some sort of abnormality with the shape and size of the RBCs, but it's not like the typical sickle type of shape. I definitely would request a full. Your bones hurt. Oh my gosh. And please go see the doctor ASAP. I'm very concerned. Okay. I'm really very concerned. The symptom presentation gives me a very real sense of urgency. Diagnostic testing is very, very important. No more messing around with energetic stuff. Okay. Meaning, don't ignore the symptoms and just go to an energetic practitioner and hope that they can resolve it. This is a very physiological condition at this point. Energy work is nice and lovely, but there is a time and a place for everything. So if you're going to continue with the energy work, perfectly fine, but it has to be in conjunction with traditional diagnostic testing. And, you know, if you want to see an allopathic doctor or you want to go see a naturopathic, that's, you know, definitely preference. I would suggest a naturopathic, but you have to go and get the actual standardized testing done to confirm, well, hopefully to prove wrong the things that I'm concerned about. I definitely want you to prove me wrong, okay? Please do give me an update once you get your diagnostic tests done. Give me an update and let me know, if you're comfortable, of course, let me know how that turns out. You can go to my Facebook page, ME Evolving, and that's on Facebook. And message me there and just let me know, and my assistant will definitely make sure I get the message. Let's see. Iyad Hamadani says, Emmy, please scan me. I hope I said your name right. Please scan me. Depression, cloudy head, stress. When will divorce drama end? Child custody. So this is for Iyad Hamadani. Okay, I tried. You're welcome, KK. I said it right. All right. This has been going on for a while. Okay. This is a bit difficult to say. I don't like to, yeah, it's been a while. I don't like to say this type of thing about people I don't even know who, but your soon-to-be ex-spouse is a narcissist, clinical narcissist, not just like, you know, a derogatory term. It's an actual clinical condition. They are afflicted with narcissism, and you are a very sensitive empath, and the pain that you feel from this being dragged out, it absolutely, they're tickled by it. They love it. And I'm sorry. I hate to say those types of things, but yeah. And the children are used as tools. Okay. Michael says, stop beating around the bush. You can take it. The children have been weaponized. There's a lot of parental alienation going on. And these terms, parental alienation, it's almost like mental and emotional abuse. These are things that you have to express to your legal counsel so that the proper steps are taken. Gosh, I really dislike having to say these things. Michael is like, you have to. So it would be advisable, if you're truly ready for this to end, it would be advisable to request your legal counsel go ahead and insist on a psychological evaluation of her ability to competently parent the children. I really dislike having to suggest that. But in this case, it's not even about you winning. The children need you. She's very unwell. It's not because she's a horrible person. Like, mentally speaking, she hasn't, up to this point in her life, she hasn't been able to form healthy coping mechanisms. Yeah, it's about the children. And she hasn't been able to learn how to cope healthily. She has a huge struggle with control. And, you know, I need you to understand, it's not because she's a horrible person. It's because everything within her is so chaotic. And so she externalizes the need for order and control. And since you've escaped her clutches, that's just really set her off. She needs true psychiatric assistance. If you were able to experience the amount of just chaos within her mind and her heart, you would actually feel really, really bad for her. Don't punish her. Definitely don't punish her. But her being sick should not be the reason why the children are forced to endure the ramifications of that illness. She needs help, absolutely. And yeah, but you know, it's because you have such a huge heart and such a love for your children that you're not going to punish her. Because when you punish her, you punish your daughters, you know, and you recognize that you want to, but I know you're not going to. You're going to do what your daughters need, because that's the kind of parent that you are. You know, you're very selfless. And at this point, you just kind of want it to stop. And you're so pissed off, which understandably, you are so pissed off because she's done quite a few. She's been purposely trying to trigger you. And you've been doing really well, not allowing her to trigger you to the level that she wants. And you're going to continue doing that because that's the kind of parent that you are. Your daughters need to physically see and experience stability. And you have the ability to do that for them. And so that's what you're going to do because you love your children. And there's no need to punish someone who's sick, okay? Talk to your lawyers. If you don't have a lawyer, definitely begin looking for one. If it's an issue of monetary, if it's a monetary issue, she has latchings. It's trying to keep me from telling you this. There are organizations that exist to advocate for fathers. And some of these organizations, they're all about fathers' rights because let's face it, just because you're a mother does not mean the children should be with you. Sometimes mothers are not able to mother in the way the children need. And that's when it's a very real need for the father to have people to advocate for them. There are organizations that exist to do this for fathers. Some of these organizations will, in fact, do it pro bono. But you have to do your due diligence. You have to do the homework. You have to find the organizations and, you know, be very honest. But she needs a psych eval. Absolutely. She needs a psych eval. And there's a part of me that is like really struggling to express these messages from your higher self. But your higher self goes so far as to say, for a period of time, it's necessary that the visitation, because you should be granted emergency physical custody, primary physical custody of the children. And any type of visitation should be supervised, a court-ordered supervised visit, because she's at the cusp of really losing her mind. It's a very real possibility. And my concern is that once she finally snaps, she will take it out on the children, and that's just not okay. You know, I understand she's not well and needs help, but I don't personally feel that children should be forced to endure the wrath that was focused on you because she can't reach you, takes it on the children. We want to avoid that as much as possible, okay? Yeah, sorry, Ari says, tell your lawyer to ask for a psych eval. I believe the lawyers are the ones that insist for that, okay? Yeah, it's, you know, it's because she's hurting so much inside, not trying to make excuses, just trying to help you understand why, although your rage is justified, you're not going to act on the impulse to strike back. It's just not necessary. Let's see. So Kim Condry says, Emmy, please scan me. A lot of stress and migraine headache and arguments. This is for Kim Condry. So Kim Condry, you're welcome. Kim, I detect parasitic circumstance, upper left shoulder, left side of neck, behind left ear, left inner ear, left temple, right tonsil, right hollow. You have quite a bit. Basically, your top portion is very much affected by parasitic circumstance. And the way parasites, if they're intelligent, if they have a higher level of intelligence, they become, or sentience, they become very tactical, meaning, you know, their behaviors are very specific and for a very specific purpose. So with all of the latchings, especially around the neck, sides of head, it's very clear to me that your headaches are stemming from these parasites creating blockages restricting the flow of energy so that it will pool around your head space, and that facilitates their feeding from your energy. Let's see. Kim, are you married? Do you have a significant other? Because it seems like both of you actually are having parasitic circumstance. I want to say he is not as physically affected. He's being more used as a Trojan to affect you, because you're the one that has more ability and access to energetic power. And so they basically are tag teaming you and feeding off of you primarily. I would definitely recommend that you get a parasitic extraction. And again, you can get that from my website, meevolving.com. I'm just asking your higher self if I have permission to clear some of that stagnant energy. Okay, I have permission. This is going to be a temporary fix. So long as the latchings remain, then they'll continue to go ahead and reverse the work that I'm doing and make the energy pool again, which exacerbates the headaches, okay? So let's see. All right. Kim, I've gone ahead and cleared that energy for you. Hopefully, the headaches resolve at least for a little bit, okay? Let's see. Let's just... let's go ahead and put you in timeout. If you can't behave, you get put in timeout. So that's what we're doing. You're in timeout. Let's see. If you guys have not already subscribed to my page, please do. I plan to go live here very often, and I don't have a set schedule, so it will be very erratic. Definitely subscribe and turn on the notifications, so every time I go live, every time I upload a video, you'll get a notice, and hopefully you can join me live. I also do quite a few of the guided meditations. For my guided meditations and group energy work, it's amazing because even if you're not live with me, what ends up happening, the energy and intention is recorded into the video, and there's a very high likelihood, if you are sensitive to energy, you will experience that energy just like if you experienced it live. So definitely subscribe and turn on the notifications. If you know anyone that could benefit from the type of work that I do, please introduce them to my page. You can visit my website, meevolving.com. I also do a lot of posts and live streams from my Facebook page, facebook.com/meevolving. The name of my page is meevolving. So it has my face on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was definitely fun, and I plan to do it very, very often. I hope to see you guys often. I really, really do. I hope to see you often. Share this out to as many people as you feel is needed. Share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever else there is. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening. And from the deepest depths of my heart's ocean, I love every single one of you. Bye.